if Vishal is taking some time, it's a break. Maybe we'll invite the next panel, Bindu Reddy, Rebright Partners and moderator, is the moderator. Let me invite Bindu, please, on the stage. This is about investors' perspective, fueling AI growth. Please, Vishal, okay, Bindu, if you don't mind, Vishal has just joined. So sorry. So Vishal has to leave early, so Vishal, please join on the stage. Vishal, go ahead. Keep a time limit of 5 minutes, please.
Sure. Can you guys put up my presentation? Yeah, thanks for inviting me here, NASSCOM team. So I run VRise. We're trying to build the largest fintech platform for small city India. So we are a 4-year-old company. I'll briefly talk about what we are building, what problem we are solving, and what the progress has been so far. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah, so the core problem in India, I think in financial services, and while I'm not a core financial services guy, I've worked with companies like Lending Cart as their CBO, and prior to that, Amazon. Okay, thank you. Okay. Yeah, so I worked with the financial services company, fintechs like Lending Cart. I was the CBO prior to starting this 4 years ago. And prior to that, I was in the startup team of Amazon. But there is one thing very striking in India. While almost 100% people in India have bank accounts thanks to what has happened in the Aadhaar and Jan Dhan accounts and the JAM treaty, the inclusion of financial services, whether it's credit cards, health and term life insurance and mutual fund penetration in India is just low single digits. So ranging from 4 to 5%. Like if you look at the number of credit card holders in India, it's like 3.5, 4 crore people. The number of people who have access to large ticket personal loans, again, 3 to 5%. The health and term life insurance, I'm not talking about LIC, but if you look at the real term life insurance and the proper health insurance, which we typically get from our employers, again, the top 4 to 5% layer of the country has these things. So why does this happen in the first place? So essentially what is happening is India, you can look at India into 3 parts, right? The entire India 1, 2, 3 is what we call them. So entire financial inclusion, typically that we have seen in terms of these products we talked about, whether they're credit cards, whether they're personal loans, whether they're health and life insurance or mutual fund penetration, they all happen at the top of the pyramid. So we call, there is not one India, there are 3 Indias. So India 1 is like a UK within India, which is the top 5-6% of India's population, which is people sitting in this room, paying their taxes, upper middle and middle class and richer people. And then you have India 2, which is like the Brazil within India, which is the middle and the lower middle class people living in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities. And finally, we have the rural poor, which is like 60-70% of population living in 6 lakh villages, contributing only to 10 to 15% of GDP. So the top of the pyramid, the 5-7% of population, which is probably 5 to 10% of population at a household level would be around 50% of GDP. India 2, which is like a Brazil, would be 30-35% of GDP, and then you have the rural poor, which is 10 to 15% of GDP. So essentially what has happened in India is if you look at all the private sector banks, fintechs, most of the insurance companies, everybody works at the top of the pyramid, the top 5% or the 7% taxpayer, millennial Gen Z, folks living in Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, NCR, larger cities, earning good salary, working in corporates. That's where majority of the focus has been. And government, rightfully so, focuses on the bottom of the pyramid, which is the priority sector. These people get farm loans, they get microfinance, they get this Ayushman Bharat insurance, etc. But there is this large part of population, which is the middle class of India, the lower middle class people earning anywhere from 10 to 20,000 rupees, 25,000 rupees in a small city. Think of closer to Bangalore, Chennapatna, Hubli, Dharwad, up north, think of Panipat, Sonipat, on the west, think of Sholapur, Kolhapur, these kind of cities. That segment of customers, while they do have a decent disposable income, they're not poor, but they're not in the priority sector. So government does not really focus, and they're not prime segment, so the private sector bank does not really focus. So that's the focus area for us. These people do have bank accounts, but they do not have credit cards, they don't have health and life insurance, they don't have personal loans, they don't participate in equity markets. So that's the segment that we are focused on. And what we have done as a company, so VRise is a full stack digital platform. What we have built is we do have an NBFC license, but we work with product partners, whether they're banks, NBFC, they're insurance companies, and co-create, co-brand financial products that are meant for the India 2 small city India customers. Second, we have our own ML-based underwriting. So we have 1 million plus customers across 5,000 cities right now since our launch in last 4 years. And we get almost 5 billion, we have currently 5 billion plus data points across million plus households across these 5,000 cities, using which I'm almost done. Using which we design the risk management. And the coolest thing we have done is the distribution. What we have done is adopted a model similar to LIC, where we have a network of around 10,000 freelancers in 5,000 cities right now. And we have built a platform using which we are able to manage these freelancers at scale with no branches and feet on street of our own. That's briefly the platform. These are the numbers so far. We did a revenue of around 72 crores in last financial year. We are on track for close to 200 crores of revenue in this financial year. We became profitable 2 months ago. We have been EBITDA positive for almost 6 months now. In terms of equity, we have raised $26 million of equity. We are backed by decent private equities like British sovereign fund called CDC, Sony Financial Services Japan, and some others. Our NPAs are pretty good. We have a gross NPA of 1%. We have 1 million plus customers across 5,000 cities. So that's like a brief. Happy to chat up with the folks who want to talk more about this. And this is my email ID, Vishal@VRise. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vishal.